Do you ever find yourself on that never-ending treadmill, chasing these huge goals, but somehow just overlooking all the tiny steps you take every single day?
Yeah, or feeling kind of stuck, maybe even a bit, I don't know, unaccomplished, even though you're putting in all this effort.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. What if the secret to sustained motivation and better mental health, really, and hitting those big visions, what if it wasn't about these giant leaps, but something much smaller, something you do all the time?
It's fascinating, isn't it, how often we just dismiss these moments, these seemingly tiny bits of progress.
Right.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, the habit of celebrating small wins. Acknowledge your progress and stay motivated.
And our mission here is to show why noticing these little victories isn't just, a nice thought.
No, not at all. It's actually a critical tool, really fundamental for your well-being and honestly, for your long-term success.
Okay, so let's start there. When we talk about small wins, what are we actually talking about? It sounds simple, but I bet a lot of people struggle to even spot them.
That's a great question. Because they can be subtle. Small wins are basically those bite-sized successes, those little achievements, sometimes you barely even notice them, that happen on the way to something bigger.
Okay.
On their own. Yeah, they might seem trivial, insignificant even. But you add them up, the cumulative effect is just incredibly powerful.
Can you give some examples? What does that look like day to day?
Sure. Think about maybe cooking a healthy meal when you're exhausted and just want to grab takeout.
Oh, yeah, definitely felt that one.
Or, dragging yourself out for even just a 15-minute walk when you really don't feel like it. Or maybe finally tackling that one annoying little task that's been sitting on your to-do list for weeks.
Clearing the inbox, maybe? Making that phone call you dread?
Exactly. Even taking a proper 10-minute break, like a real walk during a crazy busy day, that counts. These are all tangible steps forward.
That makes a lot more sense when you put it like that. Concrete things. But, okay, if they're so potent, so powerful, why are they so easy to miss? Why are they barely noticeable for so many of us?
Right. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer is, well, it's pretty deep-seated in our psychology. It comes down to something called negativity bias.
Negativity bias. Okay.
Yeah, our brains are literally hardwired to notice and remember the bad stuff much more vividly than the good stuff.
Why? That seems counterproductive now.
Well, evolutionarily speaking, it made sense. Our ancestors needed to be hyper-aware of threats to survive. That rustling in the bushes, better assume it's a predator than hope it's lunch.
Ah, okay. Survival instinct.
Precisely. So our brains got really good at scanning for problems, for dangers, for what's wrong.
And now, even though we're not usually fighting off predators.
Exactly. Now, that same instinct often works against us. Think about a performance review. You get 10 compliments, 1 piece of criticism.
Yep, I know where this is going. You obsess over the criticism.
Totally. You replay it, analyze it. The positives just kind of fade into the background.
Yeah.
So this bias makes it genuinely hard, like an uphill battle sometimes, to consciously notice and appreciate those smaller everyday wins. We're just sort of built to look for the negative.
So it's not just about trying to be positive. There's actual brain science working against us in a way.
Absolutely. Real, tangible brain science.
So tell us then, what does the research say? Why is acknowledging these little victories so impactful? What's actually happening?
Well, the research is pretty compelling. There's some really groundbreaking work from Therese Amabile and Stephen Kramer at Harvard Business School. They called it the progress principle.
The progress principle.
Yeah. And what they found was fascinating. People who consistently tracked even small achievements, like daily, they saw a huge boost in motivation, creativity, engagement, you name it.
Wow, just from tracking small things.
Yes. Any perceived win, doesn't matter how tiny, it triggers this positive ripple effect. It boosts your mood, increases that internal drive, intrinsic motivation, and it reinforces the very behaviors you want to keep doing.
So the key isn't necessarily the size of the win.
Exactly. The key factor they found, it's the feeling of meaningful progress. That sense that you're moving forward, even just a little bit. When you feel that, you're way more likely to stay productive, stay resilient, stay committed. It's like fuel for the engine.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. How does this feeling translate inside our heads? Like chemically, what's going on in the brain when we register a small win?
Yeah, the neuroscience is cool. It's much more than just a feeling. Every time you consciously recognize a small win, little step forward, your brain releases dopamine.
Dopamine, the feel-good chemical, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more than just feeling good. It's your brain's internal reward system. It's basically saying, yes, that was good. Do that again.
So it's reinforcing the action.
Precisely. It strengthens the neural pathways linked to those successful behaviors. It's like your brain's own little cheerleading squad going, keep doing that. It creates this really powerful positive feedback loop. Success breeds satisfaction, which breeds more success.
And I imagine that has knock-on effects for mental health, too.
Oh, huge effects. Consistently setting and hitting these small, manageable goals builds this bedrock sense of purpose and direction. It's not just a fleeting high, it contributes to your overall well-being in a really sustainable way.
So it's like building confidence, brick by brick.
Exactly. These frequent little bursts of joy and satisfaction from the dopamine, they add up. They build a more resilient sense of happiness and confidence over time. It literally starts to rewire your brain to focus on progress, not just problems.
Okay, so this isn't just theory or lab studies. This actually plays out in real life, right? Can you share some examples? How does this actually change things for people, maybe personally or professionally?
Absolutely. And it applies across the board. Think of small wins as like concrete proof. Evidence that you're moving forward. They give you that immediate feedback. Yes, you're on the right track.
Like little signposts.
Exactly. Yeah. And each one doesn't just feel good. It builds real momentum. It creates this like chain reaction of positivity that pushes you onward. And that builds resilience, making you better equipped to handle the bigger challenges when they come along. It's like building muscle, one small rep at a time.
Okay. Give me a real-world story.
All right. I worked with a professional coach once. She was really struggling in a career rut, dealing with perimenopause symptoms on antidepressants, just felt completely stuck.
That's tough.
It was. She found it incredibly difficult to see anything positive about herself or what she was doing, just felt stagnant. But then she started very intentionally, very diligently, just recognizing tiny daily wins.
Like what? What kind of things?
Seriously simple stuff sometimes. Like getting out of bed before 8 a.m. or just taking a 5-minute break when she felt overwhelmed instead of pushing through. Things that felt almost insignificant.
Right.
But even though noticing them took effort at first, it started to shift things. She gradually felt more positive, had more energy, started getting things done. This commitment to acknowledging the smallest progress made her journey out of that rut feel possible, tangible, achievable. It literally worked. She was doing the work of reinforcing the positive.
Wow. That's powerful. Just from noticing the small stuff.
Yeah. And then there's another pattern you see, often with really high achievers.
Oh, like what?
Okay, picture a CEO. She hits this massive annual goal, international expansion, 6 months early, huge win, right?
Absolutely huge. Time to celebrate.
You'd think. But her immediate reaction, okay, what's the next big goal? She totally skipped acknowledging the massive achievement she'd just made.
Oof, I can see how that happens. Always moving the goalposts.
Exactly. And research shows that constantly skipping the celebration part, it significantly increases chronic stress, raises the risk of burnout. Your brain never gets the finish line signal, so you're just always striving.
So what does she do?
Well, she learned to break down those huge annual goals into smaller steps, quarterly, monthly, even weekly milestones. And crucially, she attached specific, meaningful rewards to hitting each one. Nothing crazy, just something she valued.
So building in the celebration.
Precisely. And suddenly she was actually eager to hit each little marker. It wasn't just relentless pressure. It let her brain kind of consolidate the lessons from each win. And it made her approach to the future much more intentional, much more sustainable, less burnout, more actual progress.
Okay, this is all incredibly convincing. It sounds so powerful. So the big question then is, how can people listening right now start doing this? How can you start integrating this habit into your life to get those benefits, the motivation, the resilience, the well-being?
Right, the practical steps. Well, the key, like with building any good habit, is making it a conscious, consistent practice. It's not about massive changes overnight. It's small, deliberate shifts.
Okay, step one.
Step one, set specific, achievable goals. This is fundamental. Break down those huge, maybe intimidating dreams into smaller, manageable tasks, bite-sized pieces.
So instead of get fit.
Exactly. Aim for something like jog for 20 minutes 3 times this week. Or do 10 minutes of mindfulness practice daily. Specificity makes progress real. You know exactly what a win looks like for that day or week.
Makes sense. Less overwhelming. What's next?
Second, and this is where the real rewiring happens. Document your progress.
Write it down.
Yep. Get a little journal, use a notes app, even a sticky note by your bed.
Oh.
Every evening, try to write down at least 3 wins from the day.
3 things. Okay. What kind of things?
Anything. Completing a tough task at work, resisting scrolling on your phone when you meant to read, having that difficult conversation.
Yeah.
Anything where you made progress or effort. The act of writing it down forces your brain to acknowledge it.
It makes it real.
Totally. Over time, this practice literally shifts your brain's focus away from what went wrong or what you didn't do towards recognizing what you did achieve. Huge confidence booster. Big motivation kick.
Okay, specific goals, document progress. What's third?
Third, choose suitable rewards. And let's be clear here, rewards don't need to be big or expensive.
Not like buying yourself a car for flossing.
Haha, exactly.
Yeah.
They should be simple, immediate if possible, and genuinely enjoyable for you. Something that feels reinforcing.
Yeah.
And maybe avoid things that undermine other goals, like rewarding exercise with junk food or things that cause guilt.
So what are some good examples?
Could be super simple. A 5-minute stretch break, putting on your favorite song, reading one chapter of a book you love, even just taking a moment looking in the mirror and saying, hey, you did it, well done. That positive self-talk counts.
Immediate rewards are key, you mentioned.
Yeah, research suggests immediate rewards are more effective for building intrinsic motivation than delayed ones. The brain links the action and the good feeling much more strongly.
Got it. Okay, number 4.
Fourth, reflect and share. Don't just tick the box and move on. Take 30 seconds, maybe a minute, just to savor the positive feeling. Let that sense of accomplishment sink in. Feel it.
Absorb the win.
Yeah. And don't be shy about sharing your small wins sometimes with friends, family, a supportive colleague, maybe an online group. Saying it out loud can amplify the positive feeling, and getting that positive reinforcement from others, that really boosts the sense of accomplishment too.
Builds connection as well. Okay, anything else?
Finally, and maybe this is the most important bit, consistency is crucial. This isn't a magic pill. It's a habit. It's a muscle you build.
Right, it takes practice.
Absolutely. Commit to trying it for, say, 3 or 4 weeks. Give it a real shot to embed it. It gets easier, I promise.
And what if you find it hard, like really hard to notice your own wins?
Good point. If you're struggling, try flipping it. Start noticing the small wins in other people. And tell them, hey, I noticed you handled that tricky situation really well. Practicing noticing it in others can actually open your eyes to your own progress.
Oh, that's a great tip.
And maybe get an accountability partner, someone to check in with. It's easy to let this slip when you're busy or feeling low. But ultimately, focus on effort and progress.
Right.
No win is too small. Every single step forward counts.
Wow. Okay, so we've really unpacked the huge impact of celebrating these small wins. It goes way beyond just feeling good, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's boosting your mood with actual dopamine, building real momentum, helping prevent burnout. It's a seriously powerful tool, grounded in how our brains actually work. It can genuinely transform how you approach any goal, big or small.
Yeah, this whole deep dive really hammers home that lesson. Every single step, every tiny bit of progress, it's not just filler, it's the actual building block for success.
Exactly. When you consciously acknowledge and celebrate these little victories, you're not just ticking boxes. You're actively cultivating a more positive, more resilient mindset. You're building that mental strength that serves you everywhere in life.
So as you, listening right now, go about your day, maybe take a second to think about this.
What small win will you make a point of acknowledging and celebrating today? Maybe it already happened and you just need to notice it.
We really hope this conversation has given you some powerful new insights and maybe some practical things you can try right away.
Keep exploring, keep learning,
Yeah.
and definitely keep celebrating your progress. You've earned it.